John Calipari and the Arkansas Razorbacks come into Rupp Arena in one of the best environments you've seen in a long time and take down Kentucky. Frustrating loss. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about Reed Sheppard, and we're going to preview the Ole Miss game coming up right here on the Wildcats Today Podcast. I'm your host, Andrew Stefaniak, writer and editor over at Kentucky Wildcats on SI, joined as always by Carson Nash. Carson, I heard you something going on with your hand. What was that?
Well, I just have a minor hand injury for unknown reasons.
Okay. Noted. Carson was gone before the under 4-minute timeout on Saturday, and Carson was very angry. It was a rough night. You know, we'll get into the game, but I do want to kick things off starting with this Reed Sheppard talk. Carson, I don't think so. I'll give both sides to this because, you know, there's this to me feels more 60-40 of people that are upset, people that are not upset. And I get it without question. You know, Calipari was his coach. Calipari got him into being a lottery pick, the number 3 pick to the Rockets. Understand all that. But those that say that, well, that was his coach. You know, that was it. I mean, you know, Mark Pope was his dad's roommate and won a national championship with him. And he was born and raised in this state. Reed Sheppard's been a Kentucky fan long before John Calipari was at this university. I mean, you know, he was, you know, what is Reed? Probably 20, right? And
yeah,
he was
around there, maybe 19, 20.
He's about 8 years old or something when Calipari came around. Like he's been around for a while. He was here rooting for Kentucky long before Calipari. It's definitely, you know, as people, you and I, Carson, that are, I mean, we were raised in Lexington, Kentucky. It's frustrating to see, you know, one of us don the Arkansas shirt. And so to me, I think Kentucky fans understand it. I've seen a lot of other fan bases gripe about it. And that, I mean, to me, like, okay, like Tennessee fans, like, what if y'all saw, what was the really good kid that now he lives in Lexington? I see him all the time. That was really good at Tennessee, made a lot of threes.
Oh gosh. Why can't I'm blanking on his name.
I literally,
Chris
he wore
something.
Was it Lofton?
Yeah, Chris Lofton.
Chris Lofton. I see him. He's a good dude. I see him in Lexington.
Yeah, he is.
Like,
he's a nice dude.
I mean, you know, Tennessee fans would y'all be upset to see him? You know what I mean? Like a legend at your school, or like, would you be upset to see Grant Williams if Rick Barnes moved on to go coach Tennessee Tech? Would you be upset to see Grant Williams in a Tennessee Tech shirt? Like, it's just a little frustrating, but that's different too, because this is a born and raised Kentuckian. So Carson, what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I was a little upset. I'm not going to lie. I'm a huge Reed Sheppard guy. Everyone knows that. I absolutely love Reed Sheppard and the Sheppard family, right? I mean, heck, Stacy was awesome here too. Mm-hmm. She played ball for the Cats. So that whole family is bleeding blue as much as you possibly can. And it was a little shocking to see that picture come out. And I remember it coming out and I was like, wow. The Arkansas shirt, like I would have understood if it was the other way around where the UK shirt was prominent and the Arkansas Razorback shorts were on. That makes a little more sense. But wearing that ugly red across your chest, like you're not from this state, was a little shocking to me, because it has nothing to do with Arkansas at all, right? No. I mean, it's Kentucky and Cal. That university doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of all of this. It is, the whole week was built up for Kentucky and Coach Calipari. So to wear that shirt kind of shocked me. It would have made sense if he would have found a shirt with like Cal's face on it or something.
That's why I was getting ready to say that.
Yeah. But like just wearing that university really made no sense to me. And I can see where the frustration of our fans comes from.
If Reed Sheppard would have worn a t-shirt that had a picture of him and Coach Calipari together last year, like maybe he's in his uniform and they're in the huddle, whatever. To me, that'd have been the perfect way to handle it, because you're saying I'm a Kentucky fan and I'm supporting Coach Calipari. I just think it's the wearing the Arkansas, and I do agree. I saw they said this on I think it was Drew Franklin that says it was a good point. Like, it would have felt different if it was the other way around. Like if he would have worn the
That's what I'm saying.
Kentucky shirt and the Arkansas shorts. I don't know why, but I'd have been a little upset. And partially because their post game, graphics had Arkansas on top with the Arkansas shirt and Kentucky shorts, which
Yeah.
makes sense.
Oh no, that picture is going to live in history. I mean,
I just don't. Now the folks that are saying he's not welcome back here and stuff like that, we're not doing that.
No. I'm not doing that. I'm saying it's living in history because Arkansas. We just gave Arkansas the Watt shot, like the Indiana Watt shot that they live on a regular season game in the rest of their whole program's history. That's what we just gave Arkansas, and so that picture will always be associated with this game, and so people will never ever forget about this. I'm serious. Like it sounds drastic, but I kid you not. This is no one's gonna forget about that.
You just said a word that was like you combine like 3 words in the one. I don't know what you said.
Drastic.
Oh, I thought you were trying to add like. I thought you were trying to use the word dramatic, but like add. I didn't hear what you said. I think you were like trying to like add the word dramatic to another word, and I was like, "What are we doing? Like,
no,
making up acronyms or something?" But so I think that's yes, I love Reed Sheppard. I mean, I literally the only time I watch the NBA is turn on the Houston Rockets to watch him play because I could give a darn about the NBA. I love Reed Sheppard. That will not change. But I think this was a silly.
Same with all of our other old guys. Like, I mean, that's the only reason why I'd watch the NBA is just check on those guys.
Exactly. And I find like seeing the Ty Washingtons and the
top, what do you think about that?
I mean, whatever. To me, it's true that there were some Kentucky Caliparis, like they were playing for the University of Calipari.
Yeah,
there were players that did that. You know what I mean? Reed Sheppard's not one of them. So I don't care if Davion Mintz and I'm not trying to disrespect our players. In the Locked On group chat, someone sent a text the other day and it was like, have I had a few too many beers, or are Kentucky fans making fun of Kentucky players about losses in the tournament where they're like,
that's all I saw. All I saw was the player. It was like someone tweeted. It was really funny, but they're like all the players that are tweeting out about us now are the ones that only won like a combined 1 game in the tournament or something like that.
And that's so I don't care about it. To be honest with you, I don't care about that. There's going to be some players. And I think also the players that had a more successful run in Lexington, I think it's the players in these last 5-6 years that it didn't go that well for them. And they might not have that same love for Lexington as an Anthony Davis or as a Willie Cauley-Stein or a DeMarcus Cousins or a John Wall. These players had a great time here and are beloved here. So that doesn't bother me. The Reed Sheppard thing bothers me just because, dude, like you're from here, you're family to us. Like he's family to us. And that's, I think, why it hurts a little bit that he did that. So to the fans that are like, why? It's not really that. It's more of like it's just a little like he's one of us.
Seriously, it'd be like if me or you did that.
Yeah, like it just doesn't make any. I just don't get it, And I mean, it's not like if he'd have lost a bet to one of his
that's the thing too.
That's funny. Like,
they actually talked about that on KSR today. Yeah. They were saying if he had done it after, like when he did it was the worst possible time to do it because it was when all the media availability was. Yeah. So of course everyone's going to get pictures of it and that's going to be used as the picture. Yeah. But if he would have done it after the game and said, "Oh, I lost the bet," or something like that had happened, I don't think as many fans would be upset.
Yeah, I agree with you. So curious to hear y'all's thoughts on that. And this is one of those, I mean, there's going to be opinions. You're more than, this is America. You are welcome to have your own opinion, whether you're, we are mad at Reed, not mad at Reed. More than welcome to have your opinion. Curious to hear everyone's thoughts in the YouTube comments. So let us know down there. Also, before we get too deep into this, Carson, tomorrow. What are we doing after the ball game tomorrow?
Oh yeah, we're going live after the game tomorrow. First time post game live.
Yeah. So win or loss, happy or sad, broken hands or not, we will be live tomorrow night as soon as the game goes final. So the second it goes final, head on over here and we'll talk about the game. It's gonna be a lot of fun. We'll let you know on our social media, on our Twitter and all that. We're working on making other socials, but so as soon as the game goes final tomorrow, head on over this way. So now that's the Reed Sheppard talk. Once again, leave your thoughts on that in the comments. Carson, I mean, what are your thoughts on the actual what occurred on the hardwood in Rupp Arena on Saturday night?
Well, when I first left the stadium, it felt like someone killed my dog. But I mean, I was not in the slightest bit happy after that game. I thought we were really, really lackluster. I mean, we started out hot and we shot a pretty good percentage from the field in three. We shot over 40% in both categories. So I don't necessarily know. Like, the defense was awful. And we talked about it a lot before the game. I was trying to tell everybody, I mean, if DJ Wagner's hitting like 5 3-pointers, it's going to be a rough night for us. And of course, DJ learned how to shoot the basketball on Saturday, and it didn't end up working out for us. I thought our defense was bad because we weren't fighting through screens. We were letting them get pretty open looks all the time. And I've kind of learned something from watching the Cats play. I think, especially without Lamont, our guards get beat bad off the dribble. So when the other team has a big who can shoot threes, it really, really hurts us, because then Amari has to play out, because Z was knocking him down on Saturday as well alongside DJ. And so when we have a big that is hard to defend from three, it takes Amari out of the post and allows for there to be so much more space in the paint and allow a lot more open lanes and open shots. So that's something to key on and watch forward, in my opinion, because that teams like that have been killing us.
Yeah. Now, there's not a lot of bigs in the SEC that do shoot the ball well. I mean, you know, I mean, besides, I mean, Z's probably the best shooter of a big guy in the SEC. I mean, are there any other bigs that scare you shooting the ball? I mean, not really.
I'm trying to think.
So I'm just saying, like, I agree with you, but I don't think in this conference that's going to be a huge concern.
Yeah, I'm just saying our guards can't guard anybody straight up. We should have went zone. I honestly think we should have went zone in the second half. And I know we were scared because they were hitting threes, but that's one of those situations where you tell them to keep shooting them, in my opinion. And if they're going to beat you by 30 because they hit 10 more, they hit 10 more, you know, because that's not going to happen, in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, like Malik Dia tomorrow, he's not, I mean, he shoots 25%. Like, he'll make one.
Well, I mean, you saw like Grant Nelson is a good example.
Grant Nelson's a good example. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good example. So for me, you know, this loss, and I'll tell you this, I saw a lot of people, and it's true. I agree. For those that say, of course, the magic of, you know, Calipari comes in and the magic, and they can't miss a team that shoots 32.5% from three. You're right about that. I mean, a team that shoots that low percentage, even when they have some good looks, you expect them to miss more than they make. But we didn't defend it well. So I'm not going to sit here and say, well, they got nothing.
No, they were open.
Yeah, they were open and making threes, which still they don't do that often.
Well,
they did that night.
Until DJ hit a step back.
I closed the computer and started packing up the backpack.
I think that's when I left, low key.
That was the ball game. I knew that was it. When DJ Wagner hit a step back three, and then when Z it was 2 times that he hit threes. Where, like, we get a little Uncle Mo coming back to Rupp Arena, and then boom. I sure do wish he was on this basketball team. I'll tell you that much.
Well, we do, but at the same time, he still has
that's a good point. That's a good point.
Issues.
Yeah. They're not issues. I mean, it's a traffic cone. Amari Williams I mean, that was embarrassing, like manhood embarrassing for Biggs. I mean, he just move.
Well, you got the who's your daddy chants from the
That was funny. I enjoyed that. I did enjoy that. But I mean, why are we turning the damn basketball over so much, Carson?
Well, I mean, one key is definitely Lamont Butler. I mean, Lamont not being out there hurts you tremendously in that category and for defense.
Yeah.
So that's a problem. I just don't think Jackson Robinson's ball handling is good enough. I mean, and it's not his fault. He's not a point guard, right? Yeah. I mean, we're at a point where you don't have Kerr. You don't have Lamont. Those were your 2 guys at the one.
Like you might not have Lamont for a while.
Yeah, I know. What Mark Popis said in the post game did not sound
Weird,
fantastic.
man.
Yeah.
Weird that he's not explaining the injury. And they're like, well, first of all, we'll take a gander at it in a few weeks. That's already terrifying because that to me says a few weeks means 4 basketball games. We only have 10 left in conference play. So that means a few weeks. If best case scenario, he comes back in a few weeks, that's 4 more games than Lamont Butler. I don't think, but also normally here, we'll check in a few weeks. He's not come back in a few weeks. I don't know what is going on.
You know what scares me in that? Like 2 things I think are correlated.
What?
I think Colin Chandler's playing time is correlated with the fact that Lamont may not be back anytime soon.
I could see that. I just would like
because I thought Colin Chandler, as bad as he was on the offensive end, I thought he was good on the defensive end.
He's not a bad defender. Well, John L. Davis is the one where I'm like, of course, this guy. John Neighbors
said one good game all season, and he's just going.
Didn't he say that on our show? Was that to us?
We said I feel like I just.
Or was that before we recorded? And we were like,
no, it was on the pod. It was like the kiss of death. We were like, yeah, we're scared because he's due, and then of course.
You want an interesting stat? I tweeted on our Wildcats Today tweet. Twitter. I did a bunch of ran some numbers on our turnovers. So we turn the ball over 10.8 times per game with Lamont Butler on the floor, and we only turn it over 11.4 when he's not on the floor. So I mean, we kind of just have a turnover problem in general. Now we've played 8 SEC games.
It's also because we play majority through our bigs.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you're right about that. But I mean, like the games where Lamont played, we only turned the ball over 6 times against Florida. And then I believe it was Alabama.
I just feel with him running our offense, it's just there's way less chance of us turning the ball over because he makes smarter decisions.
No, I'm not. You're right. I just found that really interesting. But
no, it is interesting.
So Lamont's played in 6 SEC games, I believe. Is that right? Because he hasn't played the last 2.
I also think Amari Williams has done a much better job since Lamont has been out at not turning the ball over.
He was great on Saturday. You can't.
He's put a couple together, man. I was excited about it.
I do think losing this game, and I'll tell you this. I will be honest with you. If you want to hear a bold take from Saturday, I think that now Lamont being out long-term changes my opinion on this. I think we were destined to lose this one. I'm just telling you, I think everybody giving those players hell when they walked out on the court and it just felt like I talked about it all week. I don't like the negative narrative toward us. It just felt like we were going to lose that ball. I don't know why. I thought about putting the mortgage on them to cover. I mean, I felt so good about Arkansas to cover. I did not think they were going to win.
It clearly mattered to them more than it mattered to us. I mean, you can tell it.
But that's not a good thing, though.
No, it's not. It's not a good thing. It's not a good thing. But it also makes sense at the same time because they're an NIT team. I mean, let's be honest. If that's Tennessee or somebody else, or if Arkansas is ranked, like if Arkansas is good this year, that's a much different game. I'm not trying to give excuses like we lost. We got our ass kicked. But I'm saying that the media portrayed it only for Kentucky to look bad. It was a lose-lose situation for us.
Yeah, no, I do agree with you on that. But what I was going to say, but with that point of like, there's a lot of folks that I think are going to take this loss and just now I do think as us Kentucky fans, if we win tomorrow, we're going to be right back we're going to the Final Four train. And right now we're going, well, we suck. I think that's also just fans in general. I'm not saying that's Kentucky fans. I think fans just do that. I mean, I'll do that in a few months when the Reds come back. We're going to beat the Brewers and I'm going to be on top of the world. And then we're going to lose to the damn Nationals and the sky's going to fall. That's what's going to happen. But, I think that I don't know why this loss doesn't change my opinion on Kentucky at all. It hurts. I think this is the type of loss to get in that costing you a seed line or something. Really, but I mean, it doesn't change my opinion on this team because in all honesty, I'm a little fired up about the way Amari Williams played. I almost kind of took away positives from some aspects of this.
And that's a completely fair point as well, because if you think about it, we haven't had a healthy team in I don't know how long. Yeah. So with these other players getting better and Amari dominated. I mean, Amari looked like Shaq. I mean, he was dunking all over Z, making.
And he
Z.
should.
Yeah.
He should. We need more of it. That's my point. You're right.
Yeah, that's one player who should talk trash. Z.
No.
Z should not talk trash. Everyone else can. But I think the emergence of some of these guys will be key for us down the stretch. It just all depends on if we get healthy, because if this team doesn't get healthy, we don't have the star power to get very far, in my opinion. I mean, you subbing Lamont for Kobe Bray in the starting lineup defensively is an issue. Bro. Like that's an issue.
And when he doesn't give you a good day offensively, it hurts as well. And
and that was part of the problem.
He gave you 5 quick points and then didn't score again. That was a little frustrating. I thought it was going to be a Kobe game. And then I knew we were going to lose when he had that wide open 3. I mean, wide open, like time to stare it down and left it short. I knew he was in his head. There were a lot of just negative signs from start to finish in that game. I'd say one thing though, Rupp Arena, I'm not talking about the booze or anything like that, but just the atmosphere once the game tipped. Really, shout out to everybody. That was a hell.
That was the best Rupp Arena atmosphere I've ever been a part of. That's why I was so upset the way the game ended.
I texted my mom and my Gigi and Papa, and I said, like, I sent a group chat text. And I mean, I told him, I was like, I can't, like, my head hurts. It's so loud in here. Like, it was absurd. It was crazy. So that was it was frustrating.
That and the pregame sprites.
Yeah, well. But that's actually a really good point. I think that this is one of those, it sucks. I mean, that sucked. We're not going to sit here and sugarcoat that or make it. That was awful.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't answer Andrew's calls after the game.
No. Yeah. Like that was not a fun. Yeah. It was rough. But you write it off, move on. And that's the SEC. I've said that in a couple articles yesterday and today. No time to dwell on it because you got to play a ranked team tomorrow on the road. That's the reality. So,
which is huge that they stayed in the top 25, in my opinion. I'm excited about
we
that.
Show up. Yeah. You go 2-0 this week. at the end of the day, this SEC is to a point. It's so good. We knew it was going to be good. But I think it's so good that if you just find a way to go above 500, if you go 10-8 in SEC play, I mean, I think that 10-8 with our what we did in the non-con, I think 10-8,
and you don't have 2 starters.
Yeah, I think we're a 4 seed probably. But I would say worst case 5, probably a 4 seed. If we find a way to go 11-7 or something, then you start talking about a 3 seed. But I would say 4 seed if I had to guess right now. But we got to listen. You got to play. You still got to go to Tuscaloosa. You got Auburn coming to town. You got to go now top 15 Missouri on the road.
You need to win these games because I do not want to be a 4 seed. I would much rather be a 3 seed because the 4 has to play the 4-5 game in the second round, and you never know who you're going to get paired with there. So I want to be a 3 seed. I'm hoping we can get it back on track for that. I mean, the SEC is really freaking good. So you're going to have a lot of opportunities to get those wins back.
Yeah, I'm with you. All right, let's get into this Ole Miss game. Ole Miss, like Kentucky, is on a bit of a skid right now. I believe they've lost 4 of their last 5. They played Auburn on Saturday, hung around, but ended up dropping that one. I lost Ole Miss. Hold on. So they played Auburn on Saturday, lost that one by 10 points, hung around for a while. They started off SEC play 1-0, 2-0, 3-0, 4-0, 4-0, and then lose to Mississippi State, lose to Texas A&M, lose to Missouri, beat Texas, little revenge for Chris Beard, and then lose to Auburn. So they've lost 4 of their last 5 games. They're on a bit of a skid, as we are. A ranked game on the road in the SIP. I mean, this is going to be an interesting one. And they've got some ballers. Interesting fact. I don't know why I find this to be really interesting. You just don't see it a lot in college basketball. There are on each squad, each team, both teams have 7 career 1,000-point scorers. Now we're going to be without 2 of them, assuming Butler's out, which I think is a pretty safe assumption. But that's still crazy to me that these 2 teams, because that shows you're old, but you're also old with damn good players. You're not just old with guys that have been around a lot and average 4 points a game. These two coaches did a good job in the portal. So I find that to be interesting. Two good basketball teams. Chris Beard's a good coach, and he's got a good team. And this Sean Padula guy has the makings to really, really piss us off tomorrow night because he's a damn good player.
Yeah, no, I agree. That dude's nasty.
Yeah.
He's a freak. I was watching him against Auburn. I was like, shoot, I am not going to like this guy come Tuesday.
Yeah.
He's a beast. The thing, I honestly like this matchup, though, Andrew, because I think Ole Miss doesn't have a lot of size inside. I tab this as another Amari Williams game because you got Malik Diaz. They only rebound 34 times a game, and we're in the 40s. So I feel like as long as you keep the turnovers in check against them, you should be on the right path. But that's easier said than done. We've seen that problem arise in the past couple games. So really being efficient and taking care of the ball is going to be my biggest key to this game.
Yeah, I think it's a game. Ole Miss is one of the better, shooting teams in the SEC. They shoot about 35% from three. I'm going to pull up. I want to see where that actually, where that is in the SEC. Why is SEC basketball stats not pull up right now? What's going on in the world? But they're a good shooting team. And this Padula kid, what's interesting about him, you're going to look at him and look at his stats and go, okay, he's a knockdown shooter, right? That's who he is. That kid at 6'1" was getting to the rim. Auburn's got taller, athletic guards. And he was running around them and then getting to the rim and doing circus Rob Dillingham layups at the cup. This kid is good. And I'll tell you this, who's going to stop him, Carson?
Yeah, that's my thing. Because not only is he fast, he's physical. So you have to get physical with him back. And like we said, with fighting through screens and already some of our issues, we're going to need a full-on defensive effort to limit this guy and at least make sure he doesn't go for 30 or his teammates are wide open, at the same time. So I honestly, in my opinion, I think you should stick Ortega on him and just let full-on unleash Ortega, tell him to get physical. If you pick up some fouls, you pick up some fouls. Just make sure that when you pick up those fouls that they're not soft fouls. You gotta make sure he's breathing hard when he goes back to the sideline, because other than him, I feel like they're gonna have a hard time beating us. You just got to keep that kid in check, because your big guy 6'9". We're gonna be able to do some things to them that we weren't able to do to some other teams just because of their size isn't there. Yeah. So I really would have loved if Andrew Carr would have been healthy for this game. I hope Andrew Carr can be fully healthy.
He looks a little bit better.
He looks a little bit better, but still, he's with him. He was already not very athletic, and then you add on the back injury. It's making it really hard for him to stay in the game, just defensively. He's going to be good offensively no matter what, but defensively, it's been a challenge. So I look for us to honestly go more inside, work inside out, hopefully against them. Yeah. And force feed to start the game, maybe down low. Like Amari was dominating Z. Maybe start the game out, have Amari go on like a 6-0 run himself. Then that completely opens up your 3-point shooting and causes them to do things different defensively that you can capitalize on.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. They have great guards.
Yeah.
Great guards. And they're all veteran guys that have played a lot of college hoops. Dia, watching him and Brakefield, we know who they are. They've been around college basketball for a while, but they look good. They play good together with this team. Ole Miss is a good basketball team. They're a really good team. And we got to show up tomorrow and shoot the ball well if we're going to win this one. This team, every time, what happened in Knoxville a week ago tomorrow, what happened in Knoxville, every time we're ready to count this team out, they find a way. I think, this is the type of game that has me predicting us to lose all over it. I think we're going to win tomorrow. Maybe I should predict us to lose because that tends to go well for us. I think that we win tomorrow. I think that they're a good team, but it's based on the way our team's played. I think everything tells you that they should win this game tomorrow. based on our injuries. We're on the road in the SEC. It's never easy. I just think that this basketball team under Mark Pope, when it matters the most, when their back's against the wall, they play well and they show up. So,
and I can't imagine the sour taste in their mouth they had.
Yeah. If you don't have one, then what's wrong with you? I mean, seriously, I think you got to go 2-0 this week. You want that 3 seed, got to go 2-0 this week.
Yeah, I mean,
let's remember what we have coming up on the docket. You host Tennessee next Tuesday. Go to Texas, should win that one, but they're sneaky. Host Vandy, we owe them one. Go to Alabama, scary. Oklahoma, Auburn comes to town, scary. LSU, not very good at home. At Missouri, which now for some reason is an insane game.
I called it. I knew that was going to happen before the season.
So, I mean, it ain't easy. It ain't. I mean, you're going to be projected to lose. Are we now projected to lose Missouri based on the metrics? We're projected to lose that one. We're projected to lose to Auburn. We're projected. Are we projected to beat Tennessee? How did Tennessee lose to us and then beat Florida and move up a ton in the rankings? You're telling me you're watching that team play?
I'm getting to the point where I'm almost done with ESPN or anything or AP poll. I'm sick of all of it.
But you're telling me that Tennessee's the fourth best team in college basketball?
No, they're not even top 10. They're not good. I'm sorry. I watched them play against our second team, and they are not good.
Yeah, I don't. Florida is good and had a game. I don't know what happened. Yeah. I don't know if they forgot it started. Florida's better than that. Now it is. I'm just telling you. I don't understand how they're 4. I didn't know they moved up to 4. I haven't really looked at the AP poll. That has me beside myself. But you're going to be projected to lose to Ole Miss, Tennessee. I bet they'll have us to beat Texas probably. No, they think we're going to lose to Texas. ESPN does. They think we're going to lose to Alabama. They have it darn near 50-50 against Oklahoma. They have us to lose to Auburn and to lose to Missouri. According to ESPN, if the matchup predictor's right, we're going to go 4-6 in our next 10 games. Not buying that, but my point is, the point of bringing that up is this is not going to be easy sledding over the next few weeks. We got to show up and we got to play well. We got to win a few more we're not supposed to and stop losing the ones we are supposed to. You got to win those. To be a good team, you got to win the ones you're supposed to, or win the ones you're supposed to and win a couple you aren't. That's how you're a good team. Hey. And we've done the win a couple you aren't, but we're losing the ones we're not supposed to.
Good thing good teams make the tournament.
Yeah. I know. I'm just telling you.
That is the Razorbacks.
That's good. That's funny. So any other thoughts on this game, Carson?
Yeah, I was going to say one other thing because I thought Adu killed us. I think the matchup this tomorrow is better because Brakefield is not a downhill guy like Adu is. He's more of a post-up guy, and I think Ansley will be fine defending him and up against him. I think Adu shredded us, and I think he was most of the reason why we lost.
It was really annoying. Just every time they got the ball, Adu just took it to the rim.
You want to hear a fun stat?
To watch, huh?
You want to hear a fun stat?
Here.
The players that they scored, it was Z, Adu, and DJ. The players that played against Oakland, they had 5 points against Oakland and 52 against us.
That's really funny. I didn't know that. That's hilarious. I knew they had 52 against us. I didn't know they had 5 against Oakland. That's funny. I'm going to write an article about that. That's really funny.
Shout out Golke.
Yeah, shout out Golke. No kidding. So I think you went first on the prediction the other day, Carson. I'll go first today. I do think we win this one. I think it's going to be a stressful game. I think when we come on here to do our live, we're going to be still need nitroglycerin pills, as John Rothstein says.
I'm just glad we didn't do it after the game on Saturday.
Well, I know, but so I think we win this one. I think this is going to be a ball game. I want to check out where they are in KenPom real quick. You want to take a guess? What's your guess?
KenPom, they're 25th nationally. I'd say they're the 32nd.
They're 32nd. I'm just kidding. That'd be cool.
That would have been sick.
I can't find them. Are they not good in KenPom? What's going on here? There's no way they're not in the top 30.
You might be having that off eyesight.
Right no, they listed it as Mississippi is what happened.
Oh yeah.
They're 21 MISSISSIPPI.
There he goes.
They're offensively they're 36. They've got a good defense as 12. I think this is me a game where our defense isn't. I think it's me a game where they're good defensively. We're not. We're good offensively. They're okay, not great, and it's going to end up being a little bit of a higher scoring game. Like not in the probably. I think we're going to win this one 79-76, and I think the MVP is in this game. I think that you're going to see a better game from. I want to take Kobe, but I've taken Kobe the last few games. I'm not going to take Kobe. I would take Amari, but you're going to take Amari, which is fine. Who's going to play well? I think Ortega has a bounce back game. I don't think he played his best. I think getting downhill and getting to the rim is going to help us in this ballgame. Did he not score in double figures, by the way? Was that his first time?
That might have been. I don't remember.
Oh, no, he had exactly 10 points. Okay, he did end up getting double figures.
So that was a bad Ortega game.
Yeah. But, well, I mean, yeah, he was 5 of 13. But I think Ortega has a better game. I think he's more efficient. I think he'll give you 16 plus in this one. And I think the Cats win a stressful, tight game. What about you, Carson?
Yeah, I got it. I got it in the 80s. I'm going 86-80. I think we win by 6 points. And I think the dude in the Rupp Arena dunk cam corner, the MVP corner, is going to be there again. I think Amari's finally starting to find his groove and realizes that he's the biggest, most athletic player on the court at all times. So just throw it up to 22.
Yeah, I agree with you. Like we said moments ago, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be live tomorrow. The second the game goes final, maybe it'll take us like a minute. I don't know, but hop on over here when the game ends. We're going to go live. We'll talk about the game for 5 or 10 minutes and then answer your questions. It's going to be a lot of fun. So we'll let y'all know on our Twitter. Once again, go follow our Twitter. We've been putting out some fun stats and some fun comments, and we'll let you know our schedule, some videos, stuff like that. So yeah, head over to our Twitter. Give that a follow. And for those that don't have social media, we saw some folks saying, "Hey, I want to know when you're going live and stuff." I don't have social media. Turn on the notification bell. It'll let you know when we're going to go live. Obviously, we're letting you know right now we're going to be live post-game tomorrow, but if we ever randomly go live, it'll let you know. So hit all of those buttons. And while you're there hitting the notification bell, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button as well. Big one tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. Cats need the win. We'll see what happens, and we'll be live right after the game. We'll see y'all tomorrow right here on the Wildcats Today podcast.